Bro, off rip my boy Dante was clean. These demons tried to snatch at this woman and her daughter, and he wasted no time putting holes in them. So they tried to jump him. Big Weave still lining him up. Ducks and puts the gun in bro's mouth and made him taste lead. Was a whole 4-course meal. I'm expecting a 5-star review. Turns and puts the piece to bro's stomach and lights him all the way up. But the final one thought he was him. Came through with the Kimimaro attack using his bones. Just to get speed blitzed. My boy leaps and is lining up the shot upside down. Just for the demon to use the woman as a shield. But he must have not deeped he was up against Dante. Really said and placed it right between his eyes. He's clean. And he pulled up to an aura farm and bro really forgot his punch. Oh my days, bro. You're a bomb. Like, you're a bomb. And he stays in aura debt because the lady's baby is not a baby, bro. That's a whole shape-shifting demon. And imagine being the mum in this situation. Just turn around to see someone up in the pole on your baby. And after all that boxing, my boy got rocked by a handbag, bro. This is your introduction. You have to do better. But we gotta go back a little bit to the White Rabbit, who just hired a strike force to steal this clean sword, the sword of the Demon Knight Sparda, and really started cooking his whole squad for honestly no reason. But I had to mention it because it's important to the story. And he low-key had the whole of America shook. So they started hunting down every demon hunter for answers. And we get back to my boy Dante. And look what he did to this waiter, bro. She really wrote down the number and he used it to wipe his mouth. He has to be aura farming. But the vibes were just way too... Yep. What did we even expect, bro? Someone just threw an entire truck at the window. And just look at the speed blitz once again. Saved everyone before his ice cream even touched Earth. But it turns out it was his brother Virgil. Nah, I'm joking. It's that same shape-shifting demon from earlier. And he dips out. So my boy dropped down and posted up on him. Just for the demon to sneak up on him, trying to cut his head clean off. But he's way too quick for that. Start weaving every attack. Then get some airtime raining bullets on him. And when my boy started holding the guns over each other, he had to get out of there running for his life. But my boy isn't stupid. Hit him with the most ungodly fake out. What are you actually looking for? Just to get snuck. But this is when I realized the guns might just be for show. Ripped his arm off the wall and spun his jaw. But the demon had to run away, bro. He had to duck the smoke. But everyone's trying to steal Dante's necklace, as it's one of the only reasons the gates of hell are closed, which the rabbit is trying to open. So when the government clocked this about Dante, they started reading up on his file, and they found out he really quits jobs because he got bored. He has to be trolling, but they had to get my boy. And episode 2 is simply goated. Wait, bro, hold on. What is this music, bro? He really thought he was cooking. He missed every move. And he did all that for a D. I'ma just move on. So the vice president called up a whole army of bums to take out Dante. Except from one, because Big Bro right here saw Dante in action and he knew he was a problem and tried to dip out. But he heard he was about to get paid 500k. So you know he had to come back, bro. He's at ST bag chase, so I can't even hate on him. But standing on the sidelines is a whole squad of soldiers. And these boys are low-key clean. As Mary, the leader of the squads, calls out one of the bums. And of course they're demon hunters, bro. But just look at my boy. He's trying way too hard to look American. Of course he was a demon. And he started stepping towards the vice president. But she does not play. Catching my boy with the flying boots, tossed him, and shot him with an anti-demon bullet, which straight up made his head explode. It's wild. But they finally slide for Dante, sending in Enzo. He's a rat, but we low-key rock with him. But Dante popped out on my boy with the piece. But this is his day one though, so he didn't kill him. But he knew the ops were coming for him. So he really used Enzo as bait. And bro was chilling, lining up the break shot. Had little bro foaming from the mouth. And this was just a complete mockery. He weaved every shot and pulled up next to them asking, who are we shooting at? They should have known from right here that they couldn't hang with him. But I guess they needed more proof. So he dimmed the lights and just started moving, taking them out one by one. And look what he did to this random. Started moving like Ichigo vs Byakuya, just flash stepping. Then snatched his bandana and weaved a knife swing, tied him up and kicked him into the wall. This has to be the most respectful reverse jumping of all time. But they weren't done though. A whole new squad pulls up and he really handled them all with one steel beam. But they flanked him, blowing up his wall. And let me just break this down real quick. Dashes in, snatches Tyrone's AK, told bro to chew on this, snatched my boy's clip, shifted him, spin kick, catching bro mid recovery, and then whips out his sword using it to block the bullets. They started reaching for his amulet, but if you reach, he teaches, laid them all out, then hopped off of Lil Bro's back and hit him with the flat of the sword. That low-key just cut me in half, bro. This is not any better. Just for your dad to come through with a shotgun, but somehow he eats those. Now this went directly through his chest, bro. By the time the camera got there, it was basically already healed. And he low-key heals some wild stuff later on, bro. But let's just move on. He slumps, bro, and more ops pull up. But this part was just too funny, bro. The bag chaser from earlier pulled up, and they low-key boys though. So he tried to cut a deal for the amulet, but you know for a fact Dante wasn't going for that. So he said bet and shook his hand. Then tried to sneak him. Honestly, I have to respect it. It's a shame he had to get his jaw rolled. But this character is kind of goated though. Shout out to Arnie. But someone was tired of watching the biggest bum in the entire show, Mary. And can I be honest with you? I do not like this character one bit. She had my goat Dante in all sorts of aura there. Like I've never seen a chain get snatched with this much swag. Then dropped a smoke grenade and dipped out. But my boy locked in, grabbing his gun and started hawking her down. But he finally caught up to her. Just for Mary to leap over bro and start blasting. I told you she was trying to take his aura. But she really thought bro was a demon. Spoiler alert, he's half demon. But while she was yapping, Dante caught her gun clean in half and she started ducking out again. But unfortunately, he had to get cooked, bro. He catched her and took his chain back, but she breached bro dead in his face, and it was a grenade this whole time. But he ate that though, per usual, just to get juked out of his shoes. Bro is pointing his gun at thin air. Then she tased the hell out of him, injected the bomb in his neck, and really posed on him as the door closed. This is nefarious work, bro. This is not the Dante I know at all. He has to lock in. So they have my boy locked up in the back, and things just start popping off out of nowhere. But we ain't here for these men, so I'm gonna run through this real quick. The vice president is trying to recruit Dante, but he ain't really going for that though. But out of nowhere, they just blow the hell up. And the white rabbit is lurking with a whole rocket launcher. He has to chill. And he's not on his ones this time. He has a full squad trying to fight Mary. But whilst they're boxing, he pulls up on the doctor and snatches Dante's chain, putting the two pieces of the amulet together. And now we can open the gates of hell. But you know Dante couldn't let this slide. Hold on. Go back real quick. The doctor really thought it was a good idea to throw a grenade at the white rabbit. Really deflected that weak stuff with ease. And I've never seen someone this happy before in my whole life, bro. It's never this serious, I promise you. Blew that boy all the way up. But back to my boy Dante. He finally broke out of his chains and started moving, trying to swing on the white rabbit. But bro said, what about them kids? Really shot a whole RPG at the school bus? So Dante pulled up blocking it, just for bro to dip out in the armored truck. And you know Dante had to pull up clean as hell. Hopped on his bike and started weaving through traffic. But Rabbit released his whole squad on my boy. And Angelo came out swinging, trying to take his head off, but missed. So the twins came out, Agni and Rudra, the best villains in the whole show. And bro straight up was throwing cars at Dante, bro. Weaved two and leapt through the third one, landing back on his bike. But this next scene is top tier. Bro throws his weapon, so Dante hits the brakes on that boy. But the other one caught it and fused them together and tossed it right back at Dante. But he was done playing, caught that Agni Rudra and started cooking Snake Girl, blocked all of her attacks, really leapt up off of her forehead and smacked her with the swords. But he wasn't done though, because he turns around, pulling up on these bums, picked up the bike and smacked them with it, and really started revving it on their bodies, bro. But Angelo had to start hitting, trying to box, so he backflipped over the swing and sent bro flying, and finally tried to pull up on the white rabbit. But remember that bomb that Mary planted in his neck? As soon as he got close, it blew up. Then he took his whole face off, and the white rabbit abducted him. And as soon as he woke up, he was tied up on a plane, busting convo with the vice president, who's still trying to recruit him to the squad. But the white rabbit wasn't there, but he left a little video though. He basically said they're all cooked unless Dante can save them. But he needs to use his devil trigger, basically entering demon form. But bro doesn't even know what that is. But to get it out of him, they just start chatting smack, talking about his dead mother and brother, and really laughing in his face too, because he let them die. He was really a child, I don't know what they wanted him to do. But he said, bet, run my face for talking reckless. Charged in and got cooked instantly. I might even have to change the title of this video, bro. Dante stays getting cooked. They really lifted bro up and smacked him so hard he started having flashbacks of his dead mother. And oh nah. They started jumping the hell out of my boy. Had him on all fours, then sliced him open, had him laid all the way out. But he flashed back and finally locked in, popping his devil trigger. And let me not lie to you, the half trigger is too clean. And you know he had to show off the new weave game, cut my boy's arm clean off, and really murked him with his own sword. But he killed Big Bro's brother, so you know you have to do something irrational and blew up the entire plane. Had the whole squad free falling like it was Uncharted, and the vice pres is just falling and praying, bro. If he wasn't low-key evil, I would have to respect this. I need this level of faith. But Dante really thought he was about to run round 2. Bro dipped out of his wind, leaving Dante to save all these people. But he starts moving, snatching up these parachutes and saves everyone he can. But all of a sudden, he's over there geeking and enters into his full devil trigger. And just look at my boy, bro. You can't tell me he ain't clean. And luckily he got wings, so he saves everyone. But bro didn't even get a minute to chill. Snatched him up as soon as he landed, trying to run round 2. But he just starts mixing him with the devil trigger, bro. Caught him with the most vile flash devil of all time. Like, when did he get upside down and stomped on him? But he started pressing bro for the amulet, started beating him down, and was about to call game when an explosion popped off out of nowhere. And he knew for sure that's where his amulet was. It's not even debatable. So he pulls up, or at least he tried to. Bro came back hating on my boy, trying to take him to the skies. And his form ran out. He was about to get cooked. But Dante was not stressed. Pushed bro off him and flipped the attack, and they both crashed into the building. But Dante got slumped, and bro tried to finish the job, just for Mary to bail Dante out. Blew his whole head up. But let's do a quick catch up on Mary, bro, because this is not her video. Her whole squad got wiped, and she doesn't hate all demons. She found a couple that were good ones, and is trying to free them up. That'll be Mary, I guess. But the White Rabbit sent a message to them, telling Dante to pull up and run a fade with all his lackeys, or he's gonna unleash his army and murk everyone. But Mary isn't stupid. She clocked that WR needs Dante's blood to open the gates, so he can't go no matter what. Oh, and by the way, all the good demons Mary tried to free up were killed by the Vice President's order. Really for no actual reason, like, he's actually just a hater, and the shape-shifting demon blew up the whole building. But for some reason, Dante was really plotting on going to scrap WR, so Mary trapped him in the truck to chill out. And I know this is Dante's episode, but this pull-up was too tough. Leapt off the back of the truck, hopped out the car and blew up in the demon's face, and somehow tricked the White Rabbit into giving up their amulet. But inevitably, she got slumped. So Dante had to save her, pulled up and cooked free in an instant. But they showed bro the demon world. This place is dusty as hell. It's not looking good, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. They might be cooked over there. Air's not even breathable. And they're trying to convince him to let them open up them walls. And I'm starting to deep like, bro, maybe I'm finally getting the point of this show, but don't tell me it doesn't sound like Trump and them, bro. I guess, it's in America, I guess. But he is not going for that. And he had to run all their fades. And he instantly starts cooking, running upon all of them. Cut 2 down, spun off a bro and sliced his friend's arm off. Cooked another, then weaved this dummy, mixed someone off screen and sliced him down on the wraparound. But he wasn't done. Stuck his sword in bro like a kebab and used him as a weapon. Kicked him and cut this random down. But per usual, Angelo pulled up hating, and the demons had to let them run the ones. He straight out smacked the sword out of Dante's hand, so he had to enter the Weaving Nation, dodged every swing, and called a demon like him thinking it would stop Angelo. He did not care one bit, cut down his own kind, so Dante had to use bro's boxing gloves. Loki mixed him with a 2-piece, but he got his sword back and now he can really stunt. But Angelo is scrappy too, elbowed him and kicked him into hell. Had bro choking on that toxic air, but he was still boxing until he got swept and built into a wall. So he had to return the favor, ran up on bro and kicked him back through the portal. But he got pushed right back into hell, and they really said, nah, he's holding his own? Yeah, go ahead and jump him right now. But before he gets jumped, it turns out the White Rabbit is a human, bro. This had me shocked when they first revealed this, bro. Let me not lie to you. And he was originally trying to bring demons into the world, the good demons that were dying in hell. But Mary and her squad killed all of his friends. But that does not excuse the RPG to the school bus, bro. What did the kids do? You got personal beef, bro. Do not involve us. And Dante's still cooking them all in hell, bro. But Frog Guy snatched him up and yeeted him. So he had to raise the dual pistols. Haven't seen him in a little while. And broke down this rock formation, cooking the squad. But Angelo is not that weak, and him and Dante clash, and he's pushing my boy back until he pops that devil trigger and started winning the clash and kicks down the portal device, causing it to close, packing up Angelo. Let's go, bro. I'm actually tired of, I genuinely do not like Angelo. He was a mid villain, bro. I'm gonna keep it 100. But the White Rabbit's back there mad as hell. He thought it was gonna be an easy win and tried to cut Dante down. But my boy weaves every attack and spins his jaw and snatches back his chain. Let's go, bro. Let's go. Get your chain back, boy. I like that. But he had to leave off on some evil villain one-liner, bro, before jumping in the water. We are not worried about you one bit. But even after saving the world, the vice president is still hating, telling Dante he can't leave because he's too dangerous. You guys pulled up on him and snatched his chain. He was really just chilling. Just for a random explosion to pop off out of nowhere. And the white rabbit really turned into a whole monster, bro. Hey, we low-key should have been worried about him, I'm not gonna lie to you. He fused with the demon, becoming whatever this is, and started running through the whole army. So these two team up and start walking him down. But he was way too happy to see them, bro. He genuinely needed to get his get back. Tossed a whole helicopter blade at them. And you know they had to aura farm, but the army had to ruin the fun, bro. Pulled up with their weak helicopters and got marched one by one as Dante and Mary regrouped. But bro caught them lacking and packed up Mary instantly. So Dante had to run the ones. But he was on the defensive, but he knew his weakness though. Reeved twice and leapt over his shoulder, trying to stab his fake heart, but got caught and got slumped on a wall. But Enzo was not gonna let this slide, bro. And popped out of a launch trying to take big bro out. And got packed all the way up, bro. Hey, rest in peace, bro. Rest in peace. But Dante really thought the rage form was gonna help him. Got smacked through at least 8 walls. And Mary tried to back it in the helicopter, but the white rabbit was too locked in. Took the whole thing down. And he finally got the sword of Sparta, allowing him to open the gate to hell. But all he needs is Dante and his brother's blood. And somehow he had Virgil's blood, bro. He's meant to be dead, but hey, he has his blood. And stabbed clean through Dante, taking his too. Finally opening the gates of hell. But Mary just randomly decided to become goated. Sniped the hell out of the white rabbit from a mile away. And Dante finally fully locked in, entering his devil trigger. And started moving like Trunks. Stabbed bro and cut up through him. He really called game. Fully closing the gates of hell once again. He's simply the GOAT. But I would love to end the video right here if Mary didn't betray him. Put my boy to sleep for no reason and had him locked up. They really sealed my boy in his own series. And they really started mining hell, bro. This is the most American thing I've ever seen in my life. And Virgil is actually alive. He just lives in hell. And is really about to start beef with all the humans. But I appreciate you boys for watching. And I'll see you in the next one. I'm out!